All right, so the most exciting things in my entire life have been emergent phenomena. Okay, emergent phenomena. I've been trying to track emergence and how it works in many areas, whether it's a football pitch, whether it happens to be a tango, whether it happens in words and engagement with person, the emergence of awareness in a child, when you get the aha moment, the emergence of waves from particle movement, murmuration of birds from particles, and how you simulate that with a minimal set. And it's just like emergence, all right? So I'm trying to design this thing, and I thought the P scale is the way to do it. And it's basically, P scale is the arithmetic exponential way to track the movement of your mind as you think of things. So for example, if you think about a mouse, and you think about a cat chasing after a mouse, the mouse disappears in a hole, and then the cat's just sitting there, all right? Now, I just described that to you, and your mind, somehow or other, kind of followed that. And that's what you're imagining. And that's what role-playing is. And in fact, the entire game show of what we do as human beings. We're like the cat and the mouse has disappeared, and the cat is waiting there for the mouse to appear. And we do that on a big way of doing it. And what we do is the extra bit of getting a mouse. It's not just in the mind, like of a cat, is we've actually said the word mouse. And then we say the word mouse, and then you've got an idea of what mouse is. And a cat can't do that. Cat can't say, look, there's a mouse over here. Guys, there's a mouse over here. All right? It might, by sitting there, going, okay, look, I'm kind of, can indicate maybe in some sense, maybe there's a mouse there, because it's actually just sitting there waiting beside the hole. Another cat might go, oh, okay, what's going on here? Oh, it might be a mouse. Okay, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in that. That is very interesting. But it's the actual representational language which we are obsessed with. And the same with coding. Okay, so the LLM is based on coding, and coding is based on a lot of words and numbers combined. And because of the fact that I think about language differently and text as a reflexive thing, it means that I've got the reflexive maths, XQ. That's what I'm working on with this other thing, and you can look at the animation. It's kind of interesting. But it's the reflexive side of words. Reflexive side of words. And that's what we're doing when we're playing. It's not really the result of the words, the solid. So I'm building this extreme so that we can realize it's the imagination of what's going to happen. That's where the game show is. It's not actually on the screen, and it's not actually on the text. Okay, the text is there stimulating something, but it's actually imagination. And it's a future-orientated thing. Okay, so what is that I'm imagining is going to happen, and then it happens. That process. Okay, there's something like that going on. The constructive process. And we're all doing it separately and alone. And then we get fixated on the object of attention produced by, an author or, a film director or something. Oh, great film, great film. No. You saw something in that. It was your thinking. And that's what I've done with kids. So when I engage a kid and the kid goes, oh, and then they come up and go, and I go, okay, what was that? What did you see? Or somebody goes, oh, I go, okay, what did you hear? What I just said, all right? And then they come up with something, and it's definitely their insight. Okay, it might be related to what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it's the emergence. This is aha. And so I've been thinking about this P scale for about 6 months, slowly trying to package it in the right way, going, well, how are we ever going to get this thing done? Oh, I don't know. And eventually, just before Christmas, I went, okay, let's just bloody do it. Let's bloody do it. Let's do it. Let's define it. Let's build this bloody thing. And over a week, we built it, all right? But it doesn't quite use P scale. And even the version we've got right now, it doesn't quite use it. I'm just going, oh, Chris. So I have to, let's start again. Let's do it again. Let's do it properly. Because it took me hours to discuss, finally, with this code Claude, all right, Claude code, that it is possible to do. Okay, just do it. Just bloody well do it. And what it does, it comes up with categories, because that's the traditional way that it's been trained to do it. And that's how code works, apparently. And of course it does. So it doesn't need to do that. But wait, We're building something for players to enjoy themselves and actually have stories in their heads. They don't want to know anything about code. Why do we have to have a code? The LLM is not interested in code. The LLM just goes, oh, here's some words, does its mathematics, and comes back with a bunch of words. And it's a story, and it's brilliant. Between the LLM and the human being, it's fantastic. What's all this rubbish about code? We're not interested. We're not interested in categories. So why do we constantly do it? And that's my problem. It drives me bonkers. All right. So, well, it's not really driving you bonkers. It's just a war of attrition. It's just like, okay. So that's how you have to do it. Okay, right. Okay, so I know nothing about code, so okay, right, I have to do it. Okay. Oh, okay. So you've got various stats. You've got things and GitHubs and showcases, whatever the hell it is that code is. All right. Various categories, and then it's putting content from one category to another content. I was going, but the LLM's not doing that. LLM's doing something different, and we want to maximize LLMs. What are the tools that we want to give LLMs that actually maximize what it does and what we do? Not what a fucking computer does and what a machine does. All right? An LLM is not quite a machine. It's a language machine. It's not a computer machine. It's not computing. All right? God, people just don't have a clue. And so, Claude today, so I'm pushing this thing. I'm like, okay, right, okay, let's really, if it's possible, if we could just do this P scale, okay, and Claude code actually had a bit of a breakthrough, kind of did some code, and I went, okay, that's pretty good. Let's start again from the beginning and do that properly right from the beginning. And I didn't start it today. I've been fiddling about this other stuff with maths, all right? And then I just went, okay, while that's happening, okay, how is this possible? And I was just kind of, yet again, challenging Claude to come up with, how can we do this? All right, is it really possible? Okay, can we just strip away all the categories? And it's going, if we strip away all the categories, it's just this semantic number, this P scale, and it doesn't know what it is, and gets it wrong. And so there's definitely something that I'm doing that I can process and it's precise, but even Claude's actually not very good at precise numbers and digits because when it parses words, it puts them down into tokens. And so numbers don't quite conform to tokens very well. I have no idea how it does code, but it doesn't compute. Okay, it doesn't quite have that level of resolution. It's got tokens. It doesn't have numbers. And so this is the hinge, okay, between numbers and words, okay. And I'm coming up with a new kind of structure for it, okay, and I call it P scale. And I think what it'll allow it to do is coordinate itself. And so it just said, oh, can we just test this thing? And I was like, well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to create an extreme app thing that does this. And it says, okay, let's just create it. Let's just test. Okay, right. And in a few minutes, it did. And it got an emergent result. Not only did it work and the narrative came out and different perspectives, and you're like, okay, there's no discussion of perspectives, there's no inside and outside, and none of that, no training like that. And just from the freaking P scale, it came up with stuff. And it was interested. Of course it's interested because it didn't define that, and yet it seems to have emerged. And that's the first goal I've scored in about freaking 6 months. That's something. Now, I don't know the extent to which this might work, but this is just for a basic test for P scale, spatial P scale. Can it work for everything? Can it work for the P scale basically of absolute, to coordinate yourself in reality, or at least narratively, for an LLM? That's potentially like mind-blowing. I don't know. It's always good to enjoy the potential of these things. Okay. And where are we? We're at time's about to run up. And if it can work for the spatial and it has this emergent result, what's the result of the temporal P scale? Because the temporal P scale, it's all the logic and reasoning and implication and blah, 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 blah. Wait a minute. Can it potentially use P scale to improve, I won't call reasoning, but something about how it is that we operate in time? Who knows? It's a discovery waiting for us in the future. If you're enjoying it, put in some cash, pay, so that we can explore this. I want to see this in the real world. Let's have fun. Okay. Thanks for listening.